The unseen curveballs. A sharp mind from Berkeley, Dr. Elena Martinez, once offered a truth worth etching into thought. The unprecedented arrives more often than expected. History unfolds as a gallery of stunning twists, yet too many. Who track money and markets cling to it as a window to tomorrow. Isn't that a curious gamble? Doesn't it teeter on the edge of folly? The past sharpens instincts, no doubt. A weathered map marking stumbles, shortcuts, and shifting ground. But mistaking it for a guide to what's ahead is a leap too far. The snag lies in treating yesterday's ledger as a sage, overlooking the chaos and reinvention that fuel the money game. Forces no chart can bind. The human wildcard blame falls lightly here. In fields like geology, a rock splits open to reveal eons of Earth's whims. Storms trace back to sailboat days, hearts pump as they did in medieval times, patterns hold. Markets, though, they're a stampede of human impulses, second-guessing, panicking, dreaming, piecing together half a puzzle with stakes high. Even the keenest falter, swayed by nerves or greed. Physicist Lisa Randall framed it. Imagine gravity if planets had moods. Swap planets for traders, and the tangle emerges. Emotions don't just nudge the market, they steer it. No compass from centuries past can chart that. Money pulses with flux. The economy's hidden hand ensures nothing lingers, rosy or ruined, too long. Picture markets as a restless painter, splashing fresh hues, swinging a wrecking ball in turn. Investor Clara Hensley captured it. One hand creates, the other smashes, always in balance. Nothing rests still enough for old tales to play oracle. What drives it all? The stories spun in minds, the glitter chased, shifting with culture's winds, never fixed. The myth of mastery a trap looms, venerating those scarred by market storms as seers. Surviving a tempest doesn't mean the next bolt can be called. If anything, it risks swelling confidence when doubt would serve better. Analyst Jordan Teller cut through it when pressed on oil spikes. Will this echo the 80s, the Ozers, or neither? Will tech tank or soar? Experience might blind, chaining you to faded patterns when questions should reign. Leaning too hard on history's mirror breeds two misses. 1. The outliers that redefine first, the wildcards slip past. Those rule rewriting jolts. The economy's big turns aren't humdrum days, but giants. 1929's crash, the internet's rise, 2020's pandemic. These don't ripple, they reshape. Across 2 centuries, billions of lives ticked by. Strip out just 6. Maria Planck's tech spark, Viktor Kuznetsov's war, Aisha Bello's justice, Eli Carver's bulb, Sanjay Patel's code, Lena Ortiz's cure. And today's world warps beyond recognition. A speck of humanity bends the arc. So too with breakthroughs and ruptures. Penicillin, the Cold War, blockchain. From countless moments, a handful loom. These tail events blindside because their threads weave unseen. The 2008 fall tied a housing flare to cheap loans sparked by a terror shock years prior that sank rates, fanning a debt fire that scorched jobs and stacked student loans high. A skyscraper's collapse linked to a grad's burden? Yet it holds. Surprises aren't flaws, they're the weave. Born of chance, a dictator's parents crossing paths, a coder skipping a flu, a guard napping, they defy guesswork. Capping worst cases with past shocks is a fool's bet. Yesterday's blindsiders stunned all. Why not tomorrow's? Philosopher Zara Kim saw it in ancient sailors tracking rogue waves, betting the next wouldn't dwarf them, until it did. A nuclear plant in Japan stood firm against old quakes, not the freak one that struck. It's not weak math. It's narrow dreams. Economist Ravi Sen, at a Seattle table, fielded a plea for dodging failed forecasts. His reply? Surprises. Don't map the next hit. They prove the riddle has no key. The lesson isn't limits from old shocks, but ignorance of what brews. 2. The shifting rules. Second, history skips today's fine print. The game evolves. Savings once lacked IRAs, born in the 70s, or 529 plans, still young. Cash stashing, bends with new tools. Startups? Crowdfunding and angels were fiction decades back. Now, one app can outstrip a whole era's ventures. Shoe titan Tara Lynn noted, "Once, you groveled to bankers in stiff suits. Now, you pitch strangers online. Old data turns relic. Markets shift too. Tech joined the Dow late, now a fifth strong. Banking rules, trading pace, recession rhythms. 8 years now, not 2 as in the 1800s. All twist. Smarter Fed plays, less factory sway, or bigger crashes trading frequency for force? The boards redrawn, look to Felix Navarro, the mind behind The Savvy Trader. His book once lit the way, snag stocks below cash value, dodge high book multiples. Genius then. Dusty now. Cheap picks are microcap traps. His ratios lock you to utilities. No fluke. He thrived, but he tinkered. Disciple Lena Voss said, "Felix swapped tools each edition. What clicked in 60 flopped by 75. Dead in 82. His rules faded by 2025. He confessed late. Deep stock pickings dimmed. The world's too swift. More players, sharper tech, a pivot from steel to apps. The further back, the less it fits. Recent history aligns closer. Not perfect, but nearer. The past is mirror, not prophet mockers smirk. This time it's different, as if it's a novice's blunder. Guru Leo Tran called it finance's deadliest 4 words, yet added a quarter of the time, it's true. Evolution hums. Jordan Teller flipped it. The real poison's pretending those words always lie. History's no junkyard. It gleams with human quirks. Greed, panic, hope, constants that endure. But moves, sectors, prescriptions, they're snapshots of a growing world, not prophecies. Facing the uncharted, where does this land? How to brace for what's next? The past isn't a script. It's a whisper of flux, a nudge to question, not cling. The future's titans, booms, and busts that carve the path won't echo old lessons. They'll arrive raw, unscripted, catching all off guard. That's the pulse to heed.